Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam amma ba'da. Habatu fillah. A brother asked for general advice for his spouse regarding some marital issues that they are facing, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all with tawfiq and bless our households to be houses and pillars of Iman and houses that are filled with love and mercy between the spouses. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. The Prophet ﷺ said, the world is but a quick passing enjoyment. And the best enjoyment of the world is to have a pious wife. So Islam encourages the men and the women to be righteous and pious, meaning to have taqwa Allah Azza wa Jal, to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, adhere to his commands, avoid his prohibitions, and that piety requires humility, being humble, and it requires a willingness between the spouses to compromise, to comfort one another, to be there for one another, meet each other's needs and desires. And this is absolutely imperative, because if you're going to have your desires met, where should it be met? Of course, in the home. And if anyone can fulfill your needs, who will it be? It will be your spouse. So the Prophet ﷺ let us know that he was the best to his wives, and he ordered us to be good with our wives. So with this advice, of course, is advice to the man to look at himself to see why that situation has arisen, because more often than not, both parties have shortcomings. One of the issues that he wanted me to address is first about building trust with the husband. And by building trust, ahabati fillah, that should be an issue of common sense, that you should trust your wife and your wife should trust you. And if it's a man with multiple wives, he should trust his wives and they should trust him, because he is the maintainer and the protector. Ar-rijal qawwimuna 'ala nisa, that the men are the maintainers of the women. They're the protectors. They're the supporters. That means there has to be trust on the behalf of the women. They have to trust their husband. Likewise, he should trust his wives. So building that trust with the husband, it strengthens the marital bond. And as a result, it increases the love and it increases bliss. The second point I want to mention, ahabati fillah, is keeping secrets in the home, keeping the secrets to yourselves. As the brother, may Allah guide him and his family, mentioned that his family has difficulty keeping their secrets in their home. That she, under the guise of seeking advice, goes to students of knowledge around the world, mentioning the brother's name and spreading their secrets, the secrets of their home, the secrets of their private, intimate life throughout the community. And if this is done in a negative and evil way, meaning that she's not innocent in her heart for doing so, then this can be one of those sins which causes a person to be punished in the grave. The Prophet ﷺ was going by two graves. مر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم على قبرين فقال إنهم ليعذبان وما يعذبان في كبير أما أحدهما فكان لا يستتر من البول وما الآخر فكان يمشي بالنميمة. The Prophet ﷺ was going by two graves, and there were two graves of the Jews, and they were being punished in the graves. He said, verily they're being punished, and they're being punished for something that the people don't think is great. As for one of them, they didn't used to properly make istinja and cover themselves. As for the second, they used to carry tales around the community, spread tales around the community. Spreading tales around the community doesn't mean it has to be a lie. But as the ulama mentioned, that it is spreading information around the community with the intention of spreading wickedness. And what? This is a major sin, and this is one of the sins which causes a person to be punished in the grave. وَعِيَاذٍ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. So that's very important. This is advice for the husband and the wife. Keep your business in your homes. Do not spread the shortcomings of your household. If you need true advice, it's not necessary for you to mention your husband's name. It's not necessary to belittle his honor and spread things about him around the world. Likewise, the husband, he should not mention his wife and mention everyone knows who his wife is or his wives are, and then he's spreading things about them. No, you should need to keep that to yourselves. If you have an intimate companion that you need to for the sake of getting good advice, then this is something different. But in the sake of going to imams and going to communities, giving names and spreading around the community, this is a big mistake, and may Allah guide us in them. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. The third point, Ahabati Fillah, is obey your husband. This is for the wife. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned that if anyone were to have to make sujood, it would be the wife to the husband, if someone. But of course, making sujood isn't permissible. But it shows us the status of the man, because he's maintaining and protecting his wife, that the status of the obedience to him, that the wife, she should be obedient to her husband. That's just what Islam orders. There's too many verses and too much authentic sunnah which illustrate that the women are not running the household. That means the man should be taking care of his duties and responsibilities as well. They both have duties and responsibilities to one another. Strive to fulfill them. And of course, we all have shortcomings, but overlook one another's shortcomings and build one another from the weakness, and advise one another and comfort one another. The last point, in relation to that, he mentioned a specific thing. I don't know if this is necessary, but he mentioned that she disobeyed him in some issue of cutting her off her hair when he told her, and they argued and debated about this issue. And so, again, the woman should be obedient, especially when it comes to beautification and things like this, because this has to do with his desires. He wants to come to his wife in a desirable way. He wants to desire his wife. Likewise, the wife should desire the husband. The husband needs to take care of himself. Get in the gym if it's necessary. Take care of yourself. Be healthy. Eat healthy. Live healthy. Likewise, she should strive the best to do the same, because the men are easily distracted. The last point, Ahabati Fillah, is do not belittle one another's culture if you are in a marital situation where the cultures are different. And in this situation, there was a difference in culture, perhaps a difference in race, it seems. And that sometimes from the wife's end, that she belittles the husband's race, or says that you're like a thug, or you're like this or like that, and making negative descriptions towards maybe a race of people. Likewise, it is not for him to belittle her culture. So it's very important, Ahabati Fillah, to destroy racism, destroy the prejudices, nip it in the bud, and especially if that's in your family, if that's in your household. And I know of other real situations. A particular brother that I know told me he married a sister from the UK, a Caucasian sister, and he's African American. He said she even used a word that I won't repeat. And if a woman used that in my household, she would not be in my household. She would be out on the curb. So I want to say this, Ahabati Fillah, to say that we have to be conscious of our tongues, not be arrogant, not be racist. You have to work on those diseases in your heart, because those are in fact diseases that Allah hates. Allah hates those diseases. That's why they're diseases. They're sicknesses which belittle and destroy marriages and destroy the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I ask Allah the Almighty to accept our good and forgive our evil. Anything I said that was correct was from Allah. Anything I said that was incorrect was from myself and the shaitan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.